Okay, so we've all been there, right? You're staring at two gadgets. One is, well, it's easy on the wallet, and the other one is that shiny, top of the line premium model. Today, we're going to figure out when it makes sense to save your money and when it's actually smarter to splurge.
And that's the big question, isn't it? It's the core dilemma. You've got the sensible, budget-friendly option over here, but then there's that premium model, and it's just calling your name. Is that higher price tag just for a fancy logo, or are you actually getting something more for your hard-earned cash?
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the price tag itself. Then, and this is key, we're going to talk about the most important factor in all of this, you. After that, we'll uncover the hidden costs of owning a gadget, dive into the psychology of why we love to splurge, and then wrap it all up with a simple framework to help you make the right choice. So, first things first, let's talk about the most obvious part of this whole equation, the price. This is really a tale of two very different gadgets, the budget hero versus the premium contender. On the surface, it seems pretty straightforward. Budget gadgets, they're all about just getting the job done. They give you the basics without breaking the bank. Premium gadgets, on the other hand, they're selling you a dream of excellence. They're promising better materials, way faster performance, and all the latest tech for people who want the absolute best of the best. Now, the case for budget is actually really strong. Their biggest strength is simplicity. That affordability means more people can get access to technology. They're absolutely perfect for everyday stuff, browsing, social media. And honestly, with fewer complicated parts, there's often just less that can go wrong. Plus, that lower price makes it way easier to justify upgrading when the next cool thing comes out. But then you flip over to the premium side, and you're really paying for a set of promises. The promise of durability, we're talking metal and glass. The promise of sheer power, with faster processors and more memory. And this one's huge. The promise of a longer life, thanks to better software support that keeps your device feeling new and secure for years to come. Okay, so we've got a pretty clear picture of the hardware. But here's the twist. The real value of any gadget isn't actually decided by what's in the box. Nope. It's decided by the person holding it. This quote, it just nails it, right? The tool is important, for sure, but it's the person behind the tool who actually creates the result. I mean, think about it. Some of the most iconic photos ever were taken on these super basic manual cameras. It's a great reminder that tech is here to help us, not to replace our skill. And this leads us to a really crucial point. Your expertise, your skill, can be way more important than the specs on a sheet of paper. A real pro can work magic with the most basic tools, while someone just starting out might get totally overwhelmed by a high-end device. Those premium features are only valuable if you actually know how and want to use them. Okay, so we've talked about the sticker price, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now let's pull back the curtain and talk about the price you don't see on the tag, the true cost of ownership. The whole idea is called total cost of ownership, or TCO. And it's a super powerful way to think about the full cost of something, over its entire life. It forces you to look past that initial price and see the whole financial picture of owning a device. I mean, think about the journey of a gadget. It starts with the purchase price, yeah. But then you've got accessories, maybe some repairs down the line. And we all know how much a cracked screen costs to fix. And maybe even software fees. But here's the big one that people always forget: how much money you get back when you sell it. All of these things make up the true cost. Just look at this table on laptop resale values. It's pretty wild. A premium business laptop like a ThinkPad can hold on to 60% of its value after 3 years. Now, compare that to a typical consumer model, which might be worth only 20%. All of a sudden, that expensive laptop doesn't seem quite so pricey when you realize you're going to get a big chunk of that money back, right? But hey, let's be real for a second. Our buying decisions aren't always logical and based on a spreadsheet. There are some really powerful psychological things going on that push us toward one choice or another. Yeah, over 100 years ago, a sociologist came up with this term, conspicuous consumption. It's this idea that we buy expensive stuff not just for what it does, but as a public signal. It's a way to display our status, to show people something about ourselves. It's about what owning that thing says about you. And this leads to a really important, honest question you have to ask yourself. When you're looking at that fancy premium gadget, are you buying it for the features you will genuinely use day in and day out? Or are you buying it for the feeling you get from owning it? Hey, there's no right or wrong answer here, but being honest with yourself is absolutely key. All right, let's bring it all home. We've talked about specs, we've talked about skill, long-term costs, even psychology. Now let's turn all of that into a simple plan you can actually use. See, it really just boils down to asking yourself three simple but really powerful questions. First, what am I actually going to use this for? Is it for basic, everyday tasks, or is it for some heavy-duty professional work? Second, am I really going to use those fancy premium features? And you got to be honest. And third, what's the real long-term cost here? Don't just look at the price tag. Think about the total cost, including that all-important resale value. So in the end, this whole debate, it's not really about budget versus premium. It's about value, and value is personal. When you understand what you're paying for, whether that's butter build quality, raw performance, brand status, or a smarter long-term investment, you stop being just a consumer and become an informed buyer. So the next time you're ready to upgrade, just ask yourself, what am I truly paying for?